We are live. All right. Let's see here. Oh, there's a little menu bar. So there you go. That was so much easier than doing it on my computer. Phones. Let's see. I cannot wait. Share some awesome information with a beautiful person. Let's see if I can tell. Let's see if I can get something to put my phone on. My face. Anandria. No viewers yet, but we're gonna have some. Oh, I'm just gonna sit here and blow bubbles until somebody comes and joins me. Oh, dang, it went in my tea. How do you get bubbles from more bubbles? You just keep blowing. Do, 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 do. What if I just sat here and blew bubbles at the video? There she is. Oh my gosh, that was so much easier. There she is. Hi.
Hi. We did it.
We did it. Man, it was so much easier on my phone.
Yeah, it's Facebook really likes you on the app. They prefer it, and it's clear because they make it easier to navigate it. Cool. How you doing?
Welcome. I have my tea too.
Excellent.
I heard you were a tea fairy.
I am. Here's my I got my whole setup here. I'm just like gung fu chawing it out. Yeah, it used to be a really great offering for me to give and go to events, and I would just sit at the tea table and I'd have my like almost like my tea fort, you know. It was like all of my goodies were right there, and then all the people that I loved would come to me because they wanted tea, so it worked out. It's like a really good introvert activity when introverts want to go out. It's like you're like, okay, cool, I've got my fort. It's kind of like my home with my pillows, and we're all good. So
Right. That's really sweet. I love that. Just come to you, hang out with you in your space, in your safe space.
yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to do this, and I'm excited to get your input and learn more about you.
Oh, yay! I'm excited to share.
Okay, great. So,
Man.
yeah, first I want to know, just share a little bit about yourself and who you are and like why you're doing this, what attracted you to this space.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. So who I am. Okay. So I'm like a really creative sort of, I have a lot of interests. And if you kind of look at my resume, if you will, you'll see that event producer, like you're saying, T Fairy, 100%, DJ, fire spinner, photographer, videographer. I've run live sound. I actually like learned that specifically to be in service for an all women's event because there's just not a lot of women who know how to run a soundboard, and I'm now one of those. um, yeah, also an authentic relating facilitator. And I really was just in a space, I've haven't worked a normal job in about 7 years, and I was like literally willing to do whatever it was to never go back. Like whatever it is I need to do, I'll figure it out. And so I've been, navigating and looking for ways to make money online. And I've done low ticket network marketing. I was with a company that like sold like superfoods, and they're amazing. And I still like use the superfoods. Like especially when I travel, I'm like absolutely have to have them.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like the amount of work that I would put in for the amount of payoff was just like it was kind of, I mean, I'm going to use this word, it's dumb. Like it's just I was literally 40 hours and I made like a $50 commission, and I was on a bunch of three-way calls, and I was like, this just doesn't add up. They're like, it's freedom, and I'm like, this doesn't feel like freedom. It's just like I feel like
Traded. Yeah.
what's that?
I said, did it feel like you just traded? Like it's not a nine
Yeah.
to five, but another thing.
Yeah, only it paid way less.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, this isn't working. And so, here I am on the West Coast, and of course we have this alternative culture, and so I've been able to find a lot of gig work out here, but it was never really enough. And even like running my own business as an event producer and like trying to like get gigs for fire spinning and get gigs for DJing, it's like it was never enough for me to be able to pay rent. So for the longest time, I was either living in a van or I was living in an RV. And so I was always like house on wheels. It's freaking tiny. Like everyone's like, oh, tiny house movement. I want to have a tiny house. I'm like, wait till you live in one. It's gonna drive you crazy, especially if you're living in one of those with a partner. Man, it is just not enough space. So, so I realized that the whole tiny house movement, living in a small space thing was kind of a scam. So I just was like, ugh, no. And since I've been in this space, one, I've been able to like dramatically shift my money mindset because like I had this like fear of paying rent where I was like, oh no, I don't want to pay rent. I'd rather live in a car. But like living in a vehicle means you have to like, you don't have your own bathroom. Like that's like the most like not glamorous thing that could possibly happen. Or if you have a bathroom, then you have to deal with it, you know? So nobody has time for that. Nobody wants to do that. And so I won't project on everybody's experience. I don't want to do that. So catch myself in the moment. So yeah, so when I found this business, it was in the midst of that pandemic thing that we all experienced, unfortunately, and I was not able to do my business. Like I wasn't able to host events, I wasn't able to DJ, like all pretty much like all of my income
Yeah.
producing activities in life were gone. And so I knew that I needed something different, and I knew that I really like wanted to work online. I wanted to be able to travel. I wanted to be able to just like actually make good money for essentially like being me. I was like, why can't I just get paid to be me? And I just so happened, what's that?
I said, that's the dream.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why can't I just like, can't I just exist? Like, come on. Like, why does this have to be so hard? So yeah, so that was like something I was looking for. And then actually, funny enough, I was traveling with my partner in a Toyota Dolphin that he has, that he's currently rebuilding the engine, and it's a whole thing. He's painting it purple and gold. It's really cool. But anyway, so we're down in Mexico, and literally we're like 20 hours of driving deep. I don't even know how many miles, like probably like at least 1,000 or more. And we ran out of money. So like here I am stranded in Mexico, like in an RV, we're there. Like, it's like, okay, well, now it was literally my worst fear. Like, I did not want to run out of money in Mexico. Like, nobody wants to run out of money anywhere when they're traveling or just in general. And I just so happened to find this business. There was this woman I was watching for a long time, and she was saying, you don't have to pitch a product. You get to just show up. You don't have to do sales calls. Business works for you in the back end. And I kept seeing it, and I was like, yeah, right, whatever, scam. And finally, it got to a point where I was just like, you know what? It's working for her, because she was living in Costa Rica. She was like riding on, like, the video was her like zip lining in the jungle and riding horseback on beaches and like just like eating dank food and just like having a great time. And I was like, and she said she made more money in 1 month than she had made in an entire year of doing her business, because was an artist. She's still an artist. Once you're an artist, you're always an artist. It's like we're all artists, but she was like monetizing her art, and she made the same amount of money in 1 month as she made an entire year of hustling her art at 26 festivals, and had to do way less work because she just got to show up on social media and have great conversations with people who want to change their lives. So yeah, I finally was like, all right, I'll bite. I watched the master class, and honestly, like, once I saw it, I was like, well, that's it. I'm in, like, and I need to just figure it out, and let me figure out how to get out of Mexico first. um, and yeah, I was able to figure it out, get started in my business, and honestly, I haven't looked back. The transformation that I've gone through here has been incredible. Like, not only in the fact that, we make high ticket commissions, so it's like we can make up to $6,000 from just one sale, which is like absolutely incredible and literally nowhere else. But also like the internal transformation, like my relationship with money has completely changed. My like relationship with myself, like I have more like self-love, I have more self-respect. Um I mean, I'm living in a 3-bedroom house on like 5 acres and have farm with my partner, and I've traveled to Bali. I went there for 2.5 months. I went to Australia for about 10 days, and I went to Sweden for 10 days. And I'd never been to any of those countries before. And I'm actually going to travel to Japan this summer in June. And these are all countries that, like, I was like, oh, I'm never going to travel. Like, I was like, it's just too much money. And that was like that scarcity mentality that I had, where I was just like, oh, it's too much to live. And it's like, and I just was like, oh, for them, but not me. And it's like, well, why? Why for them and not me? And so um, it's been really healing to be in this space and to really help show other people what's possible, and also show myself what's possible. Like, just being able to, like, because it's like travel those countries, but I went to Florida for like, I was there for 3 weeks, and I went to Vegas for 10 days. And it's just like, I've been able to do that because I'm not like tied down to my area. I like almost like forgot about all of that. And then, like, really importantly, I was able to be with my father in his last week of life. And again, if I didn't have this business, I wouldn't have been able to just drop $1,000 on a flight, and I wouldn't have been able to, pay the $500 for the rental car and like stay like close to him, because the hospital he was at was actually like far from my house, like my mom's house, and I would have had to drive like an hour every day. So like, thank God I had this business, and I was able to actually just like be with him, and every single day go spend time with him in the hospital. And I really can honestly say I wouldn't have had that experience. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have this business. So, it just gives you time for the things that really matter.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's not only like the financial freedom, but what I'm hearing, also like you get the time freedom, like you get time with your loved ones and time to do whatever like whatever's important to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on that, I'm hearing that you've grown so much personally and have a totally different outlook on life, instead of a, like you mentioned, a scarcity mindset versus an abundance mindset, right? Like you're in this state of anything's possible, which is, there's very few places that you can find that, like in the world that we live in. There's always problems or things, obstacles that we have to go over, go through. So it's really cool. It's really cool that it's like all of that is just within this one thing that you did for yourself. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's wild. It's like the transformation of it's like, and you mentioned the scarcity mindset. I would also say even like shifting from a victim mindset to like I'm the creator of my own reality type of mindset, which is
Yeah.
huge. It's like
Yeah.
you never meet
Yeah.
um a what is it? A millionaire victim. Like you just don't, because they really just take like responsibility for everything and see everything is happening for them and are like, oh, like that didn't work out. So like how can I learn from this experience?
Yeah. Exactly. I have that. I'm laughing because I was just there. Like I just was like, oh, I have to take responsibility for my life and nobody else is going to do it for me. Like I'm my own parent. And it's just getting into that. It's scary at first because of all of the responsibility that I hadn't taken before. And now I have. But now that I have it, it's like no big deal, right? It's just the way it is. So
Mhm.
that's okay. So one thing that I struggled with was jumping into this. Like it was really hard to jump. And it was one of those things where my heart was telling me yes, but my mind was saying no. And so I want to ask you, what would you say to someone who feels stuck like that?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's, I mean, really what you want to do is just ask yourself, like, is like being like, okay, if I keep doing what I'm doing right now, what does my life look like in 5 years? It's probably going to look pretty similar. It might look like there's more, more stress, more hardship. And I want to just like be really clear with people that we're in a recession right now. Like things are only going to cost more money, and we're never, no one's going to make more money in their jobs. Like it's just not going to happen. Like it's never going to like actually raise the wage to meet that, because anyway, I can go into that, but I won't. So so it's just like ask yourself like where will I be if I do the same thing that I've been doing? It's like, well, you're going to be in the same place. And so instead, ask yourself like, well, what's the best that could happen in the next 5 years if I, take this leap and do this and I actually succeed? And after you see, again, like, I mean, see like me as a living example, like I'm a completely different person. I'm so much happier. I am really living and creating the life that I want to live. And I didn't have that agency to create that life for myself before. So it's like, it's one of those things where you just like, if other people can do it, that means that you can do it too. And so really believe in yourself is number one. Cause a lot of times people don't take the leap because they just don't believe in themselves. They're like, oh, well, I tried this one thing and it didn't work out for me. And, I will say that like with this business model that you'll see in the master class, if this is something that you decide to like go forward with, is that it's we have so much that we do for you behind the scenes. Like you don't have to do your sales calls. We teach you every single thing you need to know. There's a supportive community. Like just know that like you're held and that like we care about you and your success. And so, if you think about all of the tools that we have in order to bring you success, and then, you look 5 years down the line of if you do choose to take this leap, which I really think that you should, like be like, okay, well, where could my life be? And a lot of times people aren't even able to think of that because we're so used to thinking so small and we're so used to thinking of like how things have always been. And so like just like even just like shattering that reality of things could really actually be exactly how you wanted. So to start thinking about what do you, instead of like, oh, well, what do I think life is going to look like? How do you want your life to look in the next 5 years? And, I can say that this is really the only business model that I've found that will give you like time, location, and financial freedom if you choose to like really take it seriously and treat it like a business.
Wow. Yeah. That's such a good point. Like usually I was just thinking while you were talking, like usually what is in our future is really what was in our past.
Mm.
Because we're doing the same things, right? Like I heard you say, you keep doing the same things, you're gonna keep getting the same results. Like it's you have to break it. And like when you said like shatter, I just thought of like the glass ceiling that we put on ourselves. Like we are the ones that say this is all I can do, or this is all I'm going to amount to, right? And like to actually break free of it, you have to think differently about it. So that's awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So cool. I love talking with you because like shining. And even though I just started this and like I'm already seeing results in my mindset, which has allowed me the freedom to just act and like go for it, you know, and not be held back by all of the thoughts. Like it's just my mindset is changing, and I'm super excited for it to continue and to see what else opens up. So it's pretty great.
I love that. I'm like so happy for you. Like, truly. And I'm so excited for all of the people whose lives you're going to change, even from just this video, you know, just by you sharing your light. And yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
And I was gonna say, like, this platform also has given me the courage, like just me jumping into the business has given me the courage to also jump and share myself authentically, which is something that I've wanted to do for a really long time. I was just so scared of the judgment, right? And I mean, like, I've wanted to write an autobiography because I still volunteer at Serenity Lane, and I go speak, and I love speaking to people. I love inspiring them. I love showing them like you can have this life too, like, you know, like you don't have to just settle for what you want. And it's so interesting that this is now I'm in this, and it's like a level. I feel like I'm leveling up like a game. You know, like my rock bottom was like I needing to get sober because I was literally killing myself, you know, and then like just leveled up from there, like next thing in life, next thing in life, next thing. Now it's just like this the ceiling, like you said, the ceiling that I thought was there is just not there. So it's pretty mind blowing actually. So yeah. Yeah.
I'm crying.
And honestly, like it's so weird that like we're creating content trying to get people to see, right? Like really see what is out there that they could create for themselves, because not everybody's life is going to look similar, right? Like you, if you have the freedom to do anything you want, like it's going to look different, and it's going to be amazing. And like your post that you posted about you were in a I'm gonna share this. So you were in a mermaid tail in the water, and you had words come up that was just like, what do you want your life to look like? And I remember, I mean, I'm gonna show you guys, I have fairy wings hanging from my ceiling because I wear them at festivals, and I have created this persona of being a bubble fairy. Like I love bubbles, they make everybody happy, and I want to dress up like a bubble fairy and blow bubbles and create magic. And when I saw that post, I was just like, I want my life to be like that, you know, like I want the freedom to love people the way I want to love people. And, you know, and I do that through my business with food too, right? And yeah, and this is allowing me that freedom. And so, long explanation for saying, even just a small post like that, you have helped transform my life. And I just wanted to express how grateful I am and acknowledge you for putting yourself out there in a big way, because not a lot of people do that. So,
Oh, thank you. I'm like, yeah, I'm like crying. Thank you. Yeah, it's so sweet. And like that's so cool to hear. Like I changed your life by being a mermaid. Like that's so
and
sweet.
you know what's crazy too? Like, I, so I, every time, this is going to make me tear up. Like, every time I dress up like a bubble fairy and I'm like freely expressed and I'm just like happy and loving. And um there was at the Art Cart Fire Festival last year, there was a little girl that came up to me, and she was just like, you know, fairy, you know, she's like looked at me, and she sat there staring at me doing this like thing, you know, like, oh my gosh. And then she told me at the end, she was like, it was like, you know, 2 minutes or whatever, just sitting there with her blowing bubbles, but she was like, love you so much, and gave me a hug, and she comes up to my waist. And I was just like, I remember being that little girl and like going to Disneyland and just the magic, of people being loving. And yeah, it was really, really special.
That's so special.
So,
Whew, yeah, we get to really, I was gonna say, we really get to change other people's lives just by being who we are. Like the more we express who we are, the more it impacts other people. That's amazing.
it is. Yeah.
This is why I don't really wear makeup anymore.
I know. I know. I'm gonna cry. Plus, with all this like stuff, I feel like I'm glowing. Like I feel good. It's just crazy. But well,
That makes sense.
thank you so much for taking time out of your day and talking with me.
Mm-hmm.
I've told you numerous times we could probably talk forever, but
it's too easy. I know we could accidentally just stay on this live for like hours and then be like, oh wait, right, we're live on Facebook.
they're like, what do you? Oh, oops.
Oh, so fun. Well, thanks for having me. It was absolute pleasure, and I'm just so excited to see you soar. I'm so excited to see all of the, I mean, you already are. Like, let's just be real. And yeah, so excited to see all the people who you attract into your life just because you're being you, and that ripple effect. And I want to share that we have a master class. Like if you're feeling touched and you're feeling like you're like, I like these chicks, what are they up to, like I need to have whatever it is, you know. We have a master class that'll explain how this works, how we actually monetize our social media, like how you literally can get paid to be you, to show up online, and you don't have to do sales calls, you don't have to do paperwork or deal with like, all of the things that go with having inventory and all that. You just don't have to. You just get to show up online and have people watch a master class. Like it literally gets to be that simple. And I love the simplicity of this. So definitely reach out to the person who invited you to see this video, whether it's me or it's Amy, and let us know that you want to watch the master class, and we'll send it over to you.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Reach out. Reach out. We love you. Oh my God. Yes.
I didn't know it does that. What? No way.
Let's both do it.
Oh man.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
I don't know. My mind is blown right now.
Probably want updates of many. Thank you so much, Janandra.
Thank you, Amy. Bye.